this is what I found really interesting. I must have read 40 or 50 of these comments that they had selected. They always try to, you know, give you the different sides of the issue from different people and all that. So there were people who took a very good progressive point of view against the war from, you know, an anti-imperialist perspective. Not a lot, but there were some. But there were also people who were quite chauvinist and arrogant against the Afghan people, right? As you would expect, being in this country and having been formed by a military mentality and all this. But one thing they all had in common: they were not for this war. They were not for staying in Afghanistan. None of them said, let's stay there and get the job done, or something like that. They were all trying to figure out ways to get out. Some of them without damaging the prestige of the U.S., you know, and all this stuff. But they see the handwriting on the wall. And they also know the damage that it's doing for these wars to continue at a time when things are falling apart in the United States. So there's a lot of nervousness. But and this is an election year. And the military-industrial complex is very powerful. And they have reasons for wanting to stay above and beyond what they think is politically feasible or so on. They want to be there. They build all these bases. They've invested all this money. They've got their relationship to the arms manufacturers who are making a lot of money off of this. They're not showing any indication that they think it's time to get out. So politicians from neither party are saying anything about withdrawing troops soon. As a matter of fact, the argument is being floated that this uprising and what happened to these U.S. Officials and muscle men over there is now that's an argument for why they have to stay, because you can't trust the Afghans to take over, you know, if the U.S. gets out. So that's what they're talking about now. They're not talking about how to get out, but the people want to get out. And by the way, this goes on, you know, coming from Washington, there's no talk about getting out, even though some of the allies of the U.S. are getting out. Germany and France are pulling out their troops, and that's important. And some of the others have done so already. That they didn't, you know, have a big thing, but they gave a cover to what has essentially been a U.S. war. So let me just end by saying that we need to keep explaining to the people who we reach out to on all kinds of issues why imperialist war is wrong, no matter what excuses are given. And we need to do this not only for the people of Afghanistan, but for the next war and the next war and the next war that the U.S. has on their list of countries that they want to, you know, carry out a regime change or just strengthen their military control there. Long live the power of the people. U.S. out of Afghanistan. World revolution.